to rewind maybe a few years ago, you would find someone on Instagram and you go to their website to make sure that they were legit. You go to their website, read their bio, see their
Yeah,
testimonials, cruise through their portfolio, maybe see some of their products. But now I feel like the inverse is true. If I'm going to go on a website for a boutique hotel, I'm clicking on their Instagram. I'm like,
absolutely.
who's been here
Seeing some
recently? What are
photos
the
and the
highlights?
vibes. Yeah,
Who's tagged themselves here? Like, what is the actual realistic portrayal of this place? Because of course the website images are
it's
beautiful, and
gonna
of
be
course
beautiful.
that's going
Yeah,
to be polished. So I think that the two have to kind of work together. And
agree.
I think working with our social media clients right now, when they're not seeing the results that they want immediately, the first kind of reaction is like, okay, well, like, let's cut social media. And I said, I don't think that's a good idea.
Kiss my aesthetic, branding, marketing, entrepreneurship. Kiss my
Greetings and
aesthetic.
welcome back to the Kiss My Aesthetic podcast. I'm so excited to have Manu from your social team on the podcast today. Welcome, Manu.
Hi, thank you for having me, Michelle. We were just talking behind the scenes how this is way overdue, so I'm excited to talk to you about all the things.
All the things. We're going to talk about social media and Canva and Reelies, your award show. We're going to talk about social media and why people are getting. Oh, I love that you have the trophy. That's so fun to see. But let's get into your story because you have such a great story, such a great come up. Again, we've kind of known of each other for a really long time. I can't believe this is the first time we're actually chatting. But for anyone who
Yes.
doesn't know you yet, can you tell us who you are, what you do, and who you help?
Yes, and I've been in business for like 9 years on my own, and I had a career of like 15 years. I'm dating myself, but yes, and I'm still don't have the super short elevator pitch. So anyone
It
listening to us, if
happens.
they don't, you don't. Shout outs to the multi-passionate entrepreneurs out there, right? Creatives.
Mhm.
I'm Manu Muraro, as you said, and I run a business called Your Social Team. And Your Social Team is basically helping small entrepreneurs and creators do better with their digital marketing. But a big part of what we do is also just bring joy to them and bring levity, which we need so much in this space. And most of what we offer is content membership. So lots of templates. We do the trendy templates every Monday, big template library that already comes with what to say. And we really keep on top of like what the text part of it too, not just the design. So that's your template club. And then we have other little things that we do. We do some brand partnerships. We collaborate with other creators like yourself. And the Reelies Awards, which I'm very excited to talk about because that's very unique. The Reelies Awards, if anyone's watching us on YouTube, they can see the beautiful trophy.
Mhm.
Um, the Reelies is an award show for Reels creators, but they're for very small creators. So anyone from a freelancer to a solopreneur to someone that run a business with like a few people helping them, it's not for the big brands. And we really just want to celebrate all the work we do. And the way we do is through Reels. So I don't know when we're airing this podcast, but right now the entries are open. And then we have a wonderful Oscars-like ceremony in Atlanta on September 13th, 2026. So I'm super excited about that. And that's really a labor of love because a lot of my personal time goes into making this happen. The Reelies goal is not for us to grow revenue. Any of that is just a big celebration for people who need it.
How much of your career before starting your own business has helped you in these endeavors? Because I can totally
Oh my
see the
gosh.
parallels between your last life and kind of like this life and how much it must help to have that background. So, talk to us a little bit about that and how it helps inform kind of how you are your own boss.
Yeah. So it's funny because I've never had the entrepreneur vein. I always was super happy. I'm a creative. I was super happy working full time, but layoffs layoffs in a young child led me to pursue my own time to have a little more control. But I started as a creative at your Cartoon Network, which, a lot of us grew up
Uh-huh.
watching. And I worked there for 15 years creating short form video content.
There you
we,
go.
we were doing this before it was hot. And, in that career, like I worked there for 15 years. I started right out of college as an entry level writer producer. And then I worked my way onto like leading a small creative team. And during that time, tapping into the Reelies, of course, like the creativity, if you see the stuff I do for my business and the templates you create, it's all kind of light and fun and witty. And there's a lot of that muscle that I worked on and I learned in one of the most creative brands in the world because Cartoon Network was really ahead of its time in creativity. So that has been like an incredible, incredible asset. A lot of people are like, "Oh, why are your templates so different?" I go there and I'm like, That's why. It's the background that I have."
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though I work with a team and designers and all that, that background is still leading everything that we do. And then on a parallel to the Reelies Awards, because I used to, like most people in this business, throw conferences and, when I started my business. But in my creative career at Cartoon Network, award shows are a big part of what made us feel good because we got to
Yeah.
enter, we got to win, we got to attend. I was a juror before for the New York festivals, for another one called Promax. There was a TV one. So I've seen award shows from very many different angles. I've seen my team win, and I went to many of them, and I judged and all the things. Right, I won like 12 awards, but who's counting? So after like a few years in my own business, I'm like, wait, we need something like this. We don't have something like this. But then I got all that I learned from other award shows, and in my humble opinion, made it better because just to the fact that we have this red carpet and everybody's dressed like it's the Oscars changed the experience completely. Every other award show I went to, everybody was kind of like looking like they're going on a nice dinner, well dressed, but it's not like the Oscars.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
that has been a part that, especially we work with mostly women entrepreneurs, boys, and anyone in between. Everybody's welcome. We love our gays. Everybody's welcome.
Oh,
And,
yes, of
and
course.
Reelies, of course. But it is a lot of women in our audience, and they seem to really, really, really appreciate that part of it because we're all tired and stressed and running on fumes. And when you get that time for yourself that you're just connected to people, or you're being happy, you're celebrating others. Maybe we're celebrating you as well. But even if you don't win anything or not a finalist, but you're just there celebrating others, you still get that adrenaline rush. No, it's such a fun, and it's really like washes your soul out of, like, a lot of people get out of there and they're like, I have creativity again. I'm creating a bunch of content. I'm excited. So that's what from my background that I bring into the Reelies and your social team and our templates and all that.
This reminds me of two things that we're so aligned in this way of celebrating your success is an integral part to kind of reigniting your creativity. I think it's really
Absolutely.
easy to feel creatively burn out when you take time to make something that you want to resonate with people or connect. And if you
Yes.
are posting it and it's not getting you the metrics, like your own measure
Yeah.
of success or what other people say is success, or you're comparing, it's really easy to get down on yourself and get discouraged. Like, oh, I'm making all of this for nothing. So it's really interesting because I've tried to find those little opportunities too. I've joined a Toastmasters club. Do you know Toastmasters?
No.
Toastmasters is an international organization. It's a nonprofit, but it's a public speaking club. So they
Oh,
meet once a week.
fun.
We meet at 7 a.m. It's a very structured meeting, but each meeting you get kind of a table topic. And so people get pulled up to the stage. You don't have any prep, but you have to give a response to a question. You get like 2 minutes. But
I love
everyone
it.
gets an opportunity to win something. There's ballots at the end. So you get judged on your presence and your sentence structure and the way that you connect or how you bring people in, if there's humor involved, if you just have great energy. And so just to hold a trophy on a Wednesday morning and have people clap for you is like so nice.
So fun. And that's the one thing we don't talk about enough. As we talk about, oh, being in charge of our own time. We already know we work more hours in our businesses than we do on a bad corporate job. But,
Uh
but
huh.
we do have some control of when those hours happen and what we do with it. But the one thing we don't have is someone saying, good job, or getting in a meeting and
Yes.
saying, these are the results of what Manu did. Yeah, we don't get that. So we can't like count on social media to give all the feedback and the rewarding feelings
Totally.
that we want to have. So that's why I think the reel is so, so important. And also, like, I didn't mention that on my background, but I think that's kind of a cool flex. When I was between jobs after I was laid off from Cartoon Network with a on other people. That was fun. But I started freelancing before I started. I worked for a local startup and then a social team. And when I was freelancing, I went back to Turner to work at TNT on the broadcasting of the Oscars and the
Cool.
Grammys. And there was one more, maybe the Emmys. I don't know. It was three of them, but we worked from the studio, unfortunately, not from Hollywood. But I even like co-directed one time the broadcasting. So that was another
Cool.
side of award shows that I was looking at. So that was always in the back of my mind, and I'm super excited that we are doing it.
And you called out something, just the fun and the joy and the creativity of getting dressed. Like, I think, again, you work for yourself, you work from home, I definitely am business on the top, loungewear on the bottom most days. My client is coming to San Diego the time we're recording this today. Tonight, we have a cocktail party for kind of her clients and my clients at a nice hotel. And we made the theme Grand Tour Glamour. Like,
That's
global
awesome.
maximalism. And so there is such a creative expression in kind of showing up,
Yes.
showing out, but wearing the thing that you feel good in. And then being around with other people that also feel good in what they're wearing. It is kind of that contagious thing that you just don't get when you're working online.
Yeah, and also I think like part of it is too that you're creating content and you're showing yourself out there with other people. Like, those are ways to get more visibility in your business. And the other thing that is probably the most important thing in a post-pandemic world,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't go back to this enough. I feel like there's a movement now happening in the in-person events, but also like just being with the people because maybe you talk to someone via DMs, you're like a frenemy of some of your competitors. Once you see them in person, like you don't care that their post maybe sounded a little too similar to yours back in 2023. You know what I mean? Like those tiny things, they're so little because people are good
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
we connect and we people had made so many friends since the release. And then you see also people collaborating, right? So there was like, I don't know if you know Natasha. Natasha was
Uh-huh.
here from Shine with Natasha. She was here. She's been here every year. Like this is our third year now, but she was here the last 2 years. But the first year she was here, she connected with Nikki. And Nikki was a creator. She was starting her agency and Nikki Carlson. And her name of her agency just kicked me right now because I think she had a switch recently. But
Mm-hmm.
Nikki's incredible and she won an award and she's an awesome person. And then 6 months later, I see her and Natasha covering an event in LA together and none of them live in LA. And then I'm like, this is what I want to see from the Reelies,
Yeah.
and from in-person events. I think we forget we are so stuck up on like just posting the content and then complaining that the content doesn't do what it needs to do. But we forgot that networking doesn't all happen on social media.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. No, you hit at something that I think is such a real complaint I see online right now. And it's no doubt, at least from our agency side, content has changed and kind of the demands of content I think have changed. We were talking
Yeah.
even before we started recording that if you're a marketer and you're in it, like you're gonna see these kind of roller coasters, right? Like your highs and lows and highs and lows. I think politics being what it is, I think algorithms being what they are. I never
Yeah.
want to be the person that claims like, oh no, the algorithm, because I think that that can sometimes be a cheap ticket out. But what are your kind of bigger observations and where do you still feel optimistic about social media? Like,
Yeah.
we are going to get to the other side of this. Like if people have patience, because you and I, we've been doing this for a while, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working with social media since like 15, I think,
Yeah.
2015. And
Yeah.
in my own business, like focusing solely on, not solely, but mostly on Instagram and other
Mhm.
social platforms as well. But this has been like 9 years now. And one of the things that I think we talk a lot about algorithms, and of course, algorithms are challenging. There's a whole set of things, they're biased, and there's some problems with that, of course. But there's also good parts of an algorithm, right? For example, if you go to Netflix
Mhm.
and you are watching a series that you love, then it recommends you another one you love. Now we don't hate algorithms out of a sudden, right? So there is a side to algorithms that are good. What I think is really challenging, and I think we all say the algorithm, is the amount of people on Instagram. Instagram is an old platform.
Mhm.
Like, what is it, like 12 years now?
Mhm.
Something like that. Or maybe more,
Maybe
no? Is it
older.
17 years? I
I
think.
think so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was 2010. So 16 years. Anyway, who's counting? But it's
Who's
an old
counting?
platform. And I feel like before Instagram, every 6, 7 years, everybody would migrate to one platform to the next. And that didn't quite happen with Instagram. And then all the changes that we complain about is actually the reason we're all there still.
Yeah.
But also what we are not talking enough about when we try to be mad about algorithms is that when Instagram, like, I don't know, 2016, 17, that's when I was like starting my own business, 17. There were maybe like, I think in 16, there were like half a billion people on Instagram, which
Mm-hmm.
should be a lot. Or am I saying the right numbers? Like, worth a check, everybody. Don't quote me there. But we
Yeah.
went very quickly from
Uh-huh.
500,000 accounts using
Uh-huh.
Instagram to, I mean, they announced 2 billion like 3 years ago. So
Crazy.
I don't think they
Crazy.
even want to announce anymore. I have 5, so I'm part of the
Mm-hmm.
problem. I have like
Uh-huh.
my side business, my personal, your social team, your template club, the Reelies, like, so I say this to people like, yes, there are algorithms, but remove any algorithm. It would still not be
Yeah.
much better. It might have been, by research, it would be worse as far as people seeing your
Sure.
content. I'm not judging like
Sure.
bias and anything like that. But as far as people seeing your content, I usually tell people this. You go to a party, it's a get together at a friend's house that you know well. There's 20 people there. You get to see everybody, you talk to everybody. You probably even get a little like catch up time one on one with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a Taylor Swift concert in a stadium, you don't see anyone that you know that
Mm-hmm.
tell you they are there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want people to understand about Instagram. It's not just algorithms, it's a very saturated platform. And I'm not saying that to make people upset, but I just don't, I mean, maybe people are just
Right.
disheartened with it.
Right.
But it is the reality. And that's why it's so important to just keep it with your engaged niche. Like, keep talking to your people. Like, don't just mini chat and walk away. You know what I mean? Like, be present as well. I'm all for mini chat, but be present as well. Email list, like, super, super important. So I think cultivating the small groups is something that I've seen even on the new features that Instagram brings, right? Like the Instagram instance. You only talk to your close friends or the mutuals.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, and Mosseri said many, many times, the head of Instagram, about how people are sharing more in DMs. And that's how
Yeah.
audience change. Like, they're not staying there and just liking and commenting. They're like sharing to friends via DMs. They're not even like posting on their stories. And then Instagram is kind of adapting to more of that. So I think remembering all those things kind of makes you feel like it's not an algorithm that is out to get you. It may be, depending on, it may be as
Yep.
well. But on top
Yep.
of it, it wouldn't be much better without the algorithm because there's just too many people at the party.
Well, and there's also an idea of if you come from a place of serving people, then the metrics don't matter as much because, again, you can't even if I had capacity to take on 1 million clients in a year,
Yeah.
I couldn't. There's no way. Like, I
Yeah.
don't need 1 million clients. I need 10 in a year. You know what
Yes.
I mean? 10
Yes.
good ones. And so if
Absolutely.
they're there, if we have to kind of operate from this place of like everyone wants to be part of a village, nobody wants to be a villager, like you have to come from a place of wanting to help and go step in and go follow people who you might want to work with. And not just like, I think it's really easy to fall into the trap of, well, I posted and nobody's paying attention to me. It's like
Yes.
you didn't
And
connect with
that's all
anyone.
you
You forgot the point.
Yeah, and that's not going to tip the scale in your business. And I think also, like, people come to the Reelies, it's a great example, and they're like, how do you get all these people in? It's amazing. I bet you send one email because you have a big audience and everybody comes. No, I don't. I literally message people one-on-one and tell them, hey, this is out. Like, last year I sent like, I mean, whoever is on my phone, I'll send it to them via text. Whoever is on
Yeah.
my email, I email them. Whoever is on LinkedIn, like, I go all out one-on-one, and it's like a labor of love, but that's the way to get people in. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I sell content for socials. I'm not bashing social. I think it's really important. But social media, you should see it as I'm expressing my brand
Yes.
and promoting my stuff, absolutely, because you need people to know. But it is to a more consistent group of people, and you're not like gonna reach the stars. However, if anyone recommends you, they're gonna check your profile on. And
Yep.
that's why you
Yep.
need good content there. You need to look professional. You need to just make people know you're in business, because if you haven't posted in 3
Yes.
months, people are like, oh, they're probably out of business.
And I see this all the time. I think to rewind maybe a few years ago, you would find someone on Instagram and you go to their website to make sure that they were legit. You go to their website, read their bio, see their
Yeah,
testimonials, cruise through their portfolio, maybe see some of their products. But now I feel like the inverse is true. If I'm going to go on a website for a boutique hotel, I'm clicking on their Instagram. I'm like,
absolutely.
who's been here
Seeing some
recently? What are
photos
the
and the
highlights?
vibes. Yeah,
Who's tagged themselves here? Like, what is the actual realistic portrayal of this place? Because, of course, the website images are beautiful.
it's
And
gonna
of
be
course,
beautiful.
that's going
Yeah,
to be polished. So I think that the two have to kind of work together. And
agree.
I think working with our social media clients right now, when they're not seeing the results that they want immediately, the first kind of reaction is like, okay, well, like, let's cut social media. And I said, I don't think that's a good
That's not the
idea.
answer. It's just that the landscape has changed, and people have
Yeah.
to accept that. And I think also like people are just they have an idea of what. So there's also a mindset adjustment because everybody's unhappy with engagement because they're expecting engagement from maybe 3 years ago or maybe 5 years ago. Because
Hmm.
honestly, people have been complaining about engagement since I started my
For
business. So
forever. Yeah.
they might be looking for like 2015 engagement. Like that doesn't exist anymore. There was a boom in 2021 when Reels came into play, but that's just everybody who adopted it really early and who is already like creating, TikTok like content.
Hmm.
But it's not even that is sustainable. Like Reels are not doing
Right.
that great anymore. Some people do amazing and they found
Right.
their rhythm and they are really consistent, but that's not the goal. Like I think the goal is, first of all, I would say this to every client, anyone who works with social media clients, say, let's look at your results for last month.
Hmm.
That's your benchmark.
Hmm.
Your benchmark that time you went viral 3 years ago with that one post,
Hmm.
and keep looking for that result. Your benchmark is less engagement because the
Yeah.
platform has changed. The way people connect with content has changed. So I think that mindset is huge because there's a problem that it is a challenging time and platform is saturated and all that. But on top of that, the unrealistic expectations are insane. So you might be missing some wins
Hmm.
because you're so focused on thinking that your benchmark is that one time you went viral 3 years ago.
Mhm, mhm. That's so true, and I see it happen all the time. And I also wanna pivot a little bit into the conversation of, like, by the time you've seen 17 brands do it, if you're gonna take advantage of the same thing that's already happening, is it already gone? Like, is the moment then left to you? Because like we said, the platforms change so rapidly, algorithms and again, to compare yourself to what's been happening years ago isn't totally fair. But as someone who provides templates to people, I think your social team does a really great job of striking while the iron's hot, like noticing the trend,
Yes.
getting in on it, getting that stuff out fast. And I think your greatest strength really is the timeliness of it. And I notice sometimes when we talk to clients, it's like they're bringing references that are months
Super
old
old. Yeah.
or they're saying we want to do a collection that looks like XYZ, and I said yeah, that worked 3 years ago because that was 3 years ago. So as you're overseeing your designers and coming up with ideas, what are your sources? How much are you looking at what people are already posting, or are you pulling from like a broader aperture of culture and art and fashion and history? Like, do you have kind of a bigger brainstorm that goes offline? Because I
I
always recommend
do.
that our clients find inspiration that's not online, because if it's online, we're doing it already.
Yeah.
It's already
So,
here.
and that's when my creative background really comes to mind as
Yes.
well, because I'm able to do three things. One is act fast when trends start popping because I'm very hands on in my business, right?
Yeah.
So, some of the trends I've designed myself, I don't get a designer from outside to design it because they're timely, right?
Yep.
So that is a really, really key that I am able to do that other people or bigger agencies or
Sure.
bigger structures cannot do. And we send trends every Wednesday and we send like every Monday, sorry, we send like 3 to 5 trends to our members every Monday. And that can be a carousel, that can be a reel, that can be, or usually a mix, or sometimes it's all
Yeah.
feed posts because there's a lot. And the cool thing is that I feel like trends, when I talked about trends anytime before now, honestly, like 2 years ago or a year ago even, we would only talk about audios and audios are leading
Yeah.
trends. But trends are very visual right now, which is really exciting for us as design businesses, if you will, because trends are very graphic and it's really, really fun. And that's the type of thing that is like my Cartoon Network vein, like was made for. So I really
Yeah.
thrive in that environment. The other thing is, like you said, look for inspiration outside of social. So when I'm looking for like even design inspiration, but like also content inspiration. We did a template that did pretty well. And I always post on my account first, test it out. And then I don't only share with members and create a template version if it does well in engagement, but I also do if it's a good piece of content. It doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
need to do well. It needs to be worth posting, right? But I did this one, I did pretty well. And I really did in a Canva video. And it's like a yacht on the background. I did a little cutout of myself on top. And I said, crying in the yacht because this and this happened. And crying in the yacht. And there's funny because there was one guy that I don't even know who he was or whatever. He's like, how is this a trend? I'm not finding anywhere on Instagram. And I'm like, yeah,
I made it.
it's an apparel trend, right? Like
Yeah.
crying in the yacht.
Yes.
It's like hats and
Yes.
t-shirts. And then we brought it to social and people immediately got it because they are the
Right.
same audience, you know? So I think
Right.
just recreating or adapting trends, I'm really good at doing that. Just, I don't know, I have the creative brain. I had also the experience, you know, the practice
Sure.
that makes that work. And then the other thing would also be starting our own trends,
Yeah.
combining things that work. So, for example, I'll give you, and that's kind of cool. I swear to you, and someone please prove me wrong, but I was the first person to ever put a cutout GIF in a piece of content. And that was in 2020. That was
Love it.
way before 19 or 20. I don't remember I think it was 19 or 20. 2020. It was way before CatCut templates were a thing. Like those cutout templates are exactly what we did. There are no reels at that time. So I was doing that in feed posts.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, you could do one video post in the feed.
I
You
remember.
didn't
Yeah.
need to do a carousel. So what I realized is that GIFs do really well in memes everywhere else, except, you know, on social media, or people are doing them full screen on social media. However, videos doing better on social posts than static images, but you're not going to create a whole video. So how do we do this? So I had the idea, and that was when the one button screen remover became a thing because I'm not going to go vectorize that video. Like that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a tool called Unscreen that is the same technology. And I think it was the same tool that they integrated into Canva early on or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was actually using Unscreen the year Unscreen came out. And the first time I heard of Unscreen, I'm like, and now they even have like a Giphy thing, but before it was
Uh-huh.
just for normal videos. And
Uh-huh.
I started getting GIFs, putting it there, cutting out, and putting all my social content with graphics on top, like a quote or whatever. And those blew up. And that's the reason I started templates because
Oh my
everybody
goodness.
wanted that content that I was creating and it was doing so well. And I'm like, I had been just doing education by then. But then
Yeah.
and my first pack of template, I created myself, you know? And I honestly, you're a designer. We need to talk offline and you can critique me. But I'm not a designer by heart. I'm a creator, you know, I'm a
But
creative person.
there's
But I've learned so much design right now. I feel like I want an honorary title, please.
Yes, I think you should get one. I bestow it upon you. I don't know if I'm in
Thank
the
you.
place to do
Thank
that.
you.
But I think that there's two buckets, right? Like I think
Yeah.
there is something really beautiful about well-designed editorial, really high-end, like almost like looking at a travel magazine or a
Yeah.
lifestyle magazine. Like there is a niche for that of well-curated, well-designed content. But then
Yeah.
there's also like this other bucket that's like post it as soon as you have the idea. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And
Yeah.
this kind of off the cuff, unfiltered picture with text and not
Yeah.
making it your whole life's work to create this thing. So I think that there is
Absolutely.
that balance. But in what you were describing, I think we're at this really great moment where you can have these different like kinds of expression on your media and then you just can keep coming back to what's working for you. And
Yeah.
that does feel fun. Like when you can think about it that way, it does feel really fun. And what I'm always talking to our clients about is we want someone when they see a piece of content, whether it has your logo on it or not, they know it's yours. Like I
Yeah.
can see your social team content and I know it's your social team. But this does
Thank
beg
you.
the question,
Yes.
what do you do about copycats? Because I know you've had definitely more than one
Lots
person
of
that's
them.
come
Yeah.
right on your coattails and said, I'm going to do what Manu's doing. What do you do? What's your attitude towards it now?
So I think it's a rite of passage. And for years, it was the thing that took my sleep away.
Yeah.
And I also had worse forms of copycats because it stings if you see like there's many ways, right? People do steal your exact graphics and post in their accounts. But then there's people who copy their whole brand, which just happened to me. And then there's also people who take your course and sell it.
Yep.
Even though I had terms and they agreed to those terms, and they just repackage and sell it. I had all versions of them. Actually, it hasn't happened too often.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, like lately, or maybe I'm just not paying attention, but people usually DM you,
Yeah.
But that used to like take my sleep away. I've always reported. At one point, I stopped even like giving people the benefit of the doubt, because if they do that once and they get the content taken down by Instagram, it doesn't really have a big consequence for them. And to me,
Sure.
that's a great learning curve from someone like me that is not going to sue them. For
No.
them not to do with someone that will sue them. So I'm kind of doing them a favor. But I started just reporting it, and I teach people how to report. If you go to my Instagram right now, I think my oldest highlights of all is like called infringement, and it has step by step looking at my screen while I'm reporting content, because people think they're going to tap something on Instagram, but it's not that. You have to fill out a form on your computer, put some information there, put the links, blah, blah, blah. And it's not that hard. And most times Instagram does take it off. So it takes a few days. Sometimes it's taken a week before whatever, but they do take care of it if it's proven that it's your original work, right?
Right.
More recently, I kind of got over it.
Yeah.
If I catch people, like sometimes it depends what it is. If someone that is really starting out, I don't even do anything. I just message them and I'll be like, hey, blah, blah, blah.
Hey.
This is, tell them about the rules, send like a little resource, and I ask them to please remove. And I also send a link to like some of my free templates or whatever. And then if they want to get the templates, they can get it. But I stopped caring so much about it. And I think, again, it's just getting used to it, which might not be a great thing. But I also like take care of business and don't think about it too much anymore. And that has
Yeah,
been great for me.
we got bigger fish to fry, it feels like. I think with AI, it's really changed the game as well, because I can't stop someone from taking the work that I've made and them putting it into an AI tool. I can have it in my contracts. I can put it, I can educate people about it, but we're kind of hit that critical
But that's
mass, I
the
think
same as
of
copying manually. If they're
totally,
using if
totally.
they're using to copy, and I use AI for content because it helps me like
Same.
organize my thoughts and structure and stuff. But I use an AI that you actually feed like references, links, and stuff like that. But people, let's not put one thing and say I want to do like her. Do 10 things and tell a little tiny little thing that you like about each of them, and then you build your own. Like that's gathering knowledge. That's not copying someone, right? Now, if you're copying like 2 or 3 things from the same piece of content or from the same person, then you're trying to become them, and that's not cool. And
Right,
it's also
right.
not that noble either, you know?
No, and you're
Yeah,
missing an opportunity for self-expression, I think. I think it's
yeah.
great to be inspired. I think there's always, steal like an artist. There's always been a backlog of references that we look at for anything. If I'm designing someone's logo, of course we're looking at inspiration images. But I was on Pinterest recently, and one of my followers on Pinterest tagged me in a comment because someone had taken a logo that I've designed, uploaded it to their own Pinterest account, and linked it to their Fiverr account, and
Oh
then
my
had on their Fiverr
gosh.
account that they were 40,000 reviews for logo design, and that their Fiverr, you go to their website and it's my $3 million Fiverr story. And you're like, "What?" So I was like,
That's
I'm gonna be
wild.
recording that one. That's wild. That's just
That
blatant
is wild.
stealing. That's just
Yeah,
wrong. That's just wrong. So it's
yeah,
crazy but I can't spend, similar to you, I can't dedicate multiple hours a week to going and snuffing out anyone that's used my work where they weren't supposed to. Like,
yeah.
on some level, we just kinda have to be like, "All right." Like, some things are worth fighting for, some are worth letting go.
And that's the thing too. If anyone that is listening to us and they may like try to really want to do something similar to what someone else did. And that's different than a trend. But even a trend, I'm really do not like the trends that are word for word.
Mhm,
Change the trend, apply to you. Like just repeat that, oh, me and my husband does this, like when a passenger princess. Like, don't do the same. Like
mhm,
bring it to the business, like change it to their niche. That's what we do in the templates. We always put a niche specific part into it that people would
mhm.
always change. Because first of all, Instagram already said that they're not going to give recommendations and too much credit to that piece of content if they find that
Right,
there's a
right.
similarity. The other one is that, it's not adding anything to you. Like people
Yeah.
see it. Like I scroll past and I see everybody doing the same trend without changing one word. It's like someone made a funny joke, everybody does the same. It's just them in the car. Like
Uh-huh.
you're gaining nothing out of it. People know, and that
Mhm.
weights negatively on you, and maybe you lose followers, maybe you lose people that might want to work with you, but they're like, they can create something new for their content. Can they create something new for, so that's, don't do it, people. It's
Don't
better
do
to have,
it. Don't.
better have to be having perfect content, like you said, but
Mhm.
do you.
The ones that are crazy to me are there's this guy on TikTok that just reads viral threads, viral tweets, and
Yeah,
he just reads them monotone, and I'm like, "These aren't
yeah,
even your jokes, like, buddy, like, I
yeah.
saw this 2 weeks ago, like, oy, oy, oy." So, but I think there's
But at least he's curating, so what he's doing
sure,
according to Mosseri, that is not an original. That's not an aggregator.
right,
He is adding something to it. So I think that can be kind of fun. I like seeing the carousels when people put
that's
different
true.
tweets from different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
sometimes it's like the exact same. Even on threads that started happening too, just the exact same thing. And you're like, this happened to you and happened to this other person too. Like, what is wrong?
mhm. This might be a fun, idea to kinda close this out, and then I wanna talk about
Yes,
Reelies. But if someone was
absolutely.
coming to you today and they said, "I'm starting my business, I have 0 social media presence, I have 0 presence at all," what would your kind of first 5 or 6 things be like, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do." Where would you recommend
Yeah.
that they spend their time, spend their effort, learn to do, skip this, don't do that? What would be your just right off the bat?
I would say start with 9 posts so you have something before you start following people even.
Yep.
Because when you follow people and you haven't posted anything yet, people might not even know it's you and they might know you, so they might not follow you back or do anything because they don't know what that's coming from.
Mhm.
Now, if you have the main posts of what is this account, who is behind the account, blah blah blah, people will be like, "Oh, it's Michelle," like an immediate
Mhm.
follow. So don't waste your energy following people before your account's ready to receive people. So that would be number one.
It's a great one.
Number two, and I do this for brands too, is start a Canva project or whatever design platform you work out of, Adobe Express, Canva. Open it, create all your first posts in there. Very basic stuff. Don't try to do the trending reel. Just do the basics. First post a logo, second post a picture of yourself. What is this account? Or maybe a picture of your product or something that
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be huge. Like your first posts are
right.
not going to go viral. Not a lot of people are going to see it. So don't waste time. Like if you want to introduce yourself, you don't need this amazing graphic. Hi, I'm Manu, blah, 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 and a carousel. Just do one photo of me. That's good to start, you
Mhm.
know? So I usually say that is a way. I actually have a blog post. So remind me to send you a link so you can put
Yeah,
in the notes because I
can
did
do.
a blog post with the first 10 posts if you have starting any account from scratch. And I put even the caption templates, like what it should
Amazing.
say. So
Amazing.
I have it all, but it is basically like a whole thing about, what the logo is the first one, or if you don't have a logo, a product or a picture of yourself or something. So just kind of setting up the tone. If you want, you could also do one of those logo banners, like the 3 across logo. It'd be great for that. But then you just don't overthink. You just do a product here and then it's just like the basics, telling people everything they need to know. One is about your past experience, one's about, all the things like introducing yourself, introducing your team if you have one, introducing your product line if you have one, little teasers if you have stuff down the pipeline. So I put all that there. There's like the 10 first posts, and you don't need to waste a lot of energy on that. Just kind of do them.
Mhm. And Instagram, you'd still prioritize as platform number 1, huh?
I am. I tried TikTok. I'm a seller. I like selling because that's the way my
Yeah.
business stay afloat, and that's how I can spend thousands, thousands of dollars on the Reelies and
Yep.
and contract women contractors. Like I'm really passionate about
Uh-huh.
that, and I'm not making anyone a favor if my business is making less money and I'm paying less
Sure.
people. Like
Totally agree. Totally agree.
even the ladies who clean my house, if the economy is down and I'm not making enough money, I
Yes.
will lower the amount of times they come here. Who wins from
Yep.
them making less money? No one. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Nobody.
So we
Yes,
all need to
agree.
like lift ourselves. And that's like a good reminder for when we afraid of being salesy. It's like, think of all the people you can lift up as well if you are a
Completely.
successful small business. So I'm a seller. TikTok was not for me because TikTok is really hard to do the connection between what you're saying and the link to it. It's great for product, physical product,
Mhm.
that you can really blow up on TikTok. But even the people that I know that have really blown up on TikTok, I don't see that becoming dollars for them.
No.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So artists, it's amazing, like products, but for selling, Instagram is better. And
Yeah.
and for creating that community, TikTok is a lot of discovery. It's really fun and creative, and
But how many times have we said, "Oh my gosh, I saw this TikTok. I cannot remember their handle," or "I don't remember what their account was,
yeah,
but I saw it and it was so great, and now I don't even have
yeah,
the search strips to describe what it is that I saw because it's now been so far
exactly.
gone." So there is, like, although it does have that entertainment factor and the discovery factor, and I've definitely had clients that found me from TikTok, but because they took
That's great.
action right away, like, they saw the
Yeah,
video and then went bloop, 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 right to the contact
yeah.
form,
And you have
which was
really good
great.
content there. Yeah.
Thanks. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I love TikTok. I think it's great too. But
Yeah.
for me, it was just like the effort was not paying up because I
Yeah.
also feel like the same things I'm already creating for Instagram doesn't work there, don't work there. So
Mhm.
I'm like big Instagram stan still.
I think you're right. You called out something as far as the longevity of it, as far as how many brands are there, how many influencers are there, celebrities. Like
Yeah.
it really is that platform that Facebook I don't think is anymore. Obviously, MySpace has come and gone. Clubhouse has come and gone. There are all
I
these
had a
other
nice
things.
nice stint.
Yeah, but I think Instagram, even though we may not like the changes that happen, obviously they're making changes to it from a data place. Like you can
Yeah.
tell.
Oh,
You
for
can tell
sure.
that they're saying this is what the user experience is because they can see all of our user data when we're on there.
Yeah.
So they're saying people are spending more time with content from people that they don't follow than with their friends
Yeah.
and family, then
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense why that gets prioritized, right? And then of course we have to close out with Reelies and encourage everyone to
Yeah.
submit and apply. I mean, I think it's such a fabulous idea. I will make it out to one in person at some point. I don't know if I can do it this year, but it
September
might have to be
13th.
next year. September 13th. So how can
Yes.
people submit? What can they
Yeah.
submit? What does that
Okay.
process look like?
So the release is very much like tradition in the way it's set up. It's like a traditional award show. You enter your
Great.
work, right? And then there will be a panel of judges judging the first phase. We'll have finalists, and then the finalists' final votes are open for everybody on our website. We have 30 categories, and they're all for reels, and they're not niche specific. They are
Mhm.
reels, not items, but like characteristics.
Characteristics?
Characteristics.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Characteristics of your reels. Sorry, second
Uh-huh.
language here. Like just
You're doing great.
for a minute. I mean, I've been here forever, but um but yeah, so we have these 30 categories and they're like funniest reel, best educational reel, most heartwarming reel, best actor in a reel, best supporting actor acting in a reel, best use of trending audio, best song, best use of a song. We have all these things that you can find on a categories for every reel you create.
Mhm.
There's best graphics in a reel. There's cutest reel, which could be also the cutest graphics in a reel. So you
Mhm.
don't need to come, but you need to enter.
Yes, I definitely need to enter.
And it's fun to get one of these. Look how pretty. We just made new trophies for this year, and I didn't think
Love
our
it.
trophies could get any prettier, but I think they did, and they're
Looks
heavier.
fabulous.
I'm obsessed. And so if you win and you don't come, we'll ship you a
Trophy.
trophy. We're still gonna show your reels on the screen. If you're a finalist, you'll see all your 5 reels on the movie screen. Like how fun is that? Like
Very
it's
cool.
um it's a really cool. So you enter it. We make so the reel is made for very small creators. So we make the prices really ridiculously accessible. We can make entries free because we would get spam entries. We want people to want to enter, right? So one entry is $20, and then a pack of 10 entries is $100. We also have a pack of 5 entries for 75. Highly recommend going with the 10 if you can, because
Yeah.
that's what you need more chances. You might,
Yeah.
you know how good your reels are that you're entering, and they don't need to be like mind blowing. They need to
Mhm.
have a witty way that you use the song with the theme. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so everybody
And
can.
I can recommend that people submit reels not based on metrics, but based on
No,
what you like, what you felt connected to, what you feel like represents you.
absolutely. Of course, you might have a reel that did really well because it was that good, but also you can have one that did well for another reason because the song was just blowing up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
And that's not going to do much. But at the Reelies, the one big thing for us is that we don't look at metrics. So
Mm.
when people are judging your reel, they just look at the video of your reel. They don't look at how many followers you have. They don't look at how well that reel did or not. They just watch the reel and they vote basically mainly on the category that you entered it. You
Love
know,
it.
of course, if the reel
Yeah.
is well done overall, it has a little more of a chance to do better. But it has to be what makes sense in that category. So the timeline is June 30th is when we close entries. Do not miss it because we can, like, people start voting right away. Like, there's no way that we can accommodate people that are late. So
Sure.
when you enter and you buy your entries, you get an email from us that has a short form. And again, I've entered award shows. First of all, they cost hundreds of dollars per.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Uh-huh.
my husband was entering like film festivals that were like very small because he made a small documentary, a short form documentary, and they were like 7 times more expensive than the Reelies just to enter like a little show that barely has presence somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, so those costs are going to be super worth it for you, and also support us, allow us to create a Reelies, because we need entries. So
Mm-hmm.
so this is how it works. June 30th, close entries. And then we prepare for our expert jurors to vote on the finalists. They're going to pick 5 per category. We have 30 categories. So we have
Wow.
150 finalists. So if you
Oh my
think that
goodness.
we get an average of 1,000 entries a year. Hopefully we get more
Oof.
this year, but that's 1,000 entries. So think that
Mm-hmm.
over 1,000 entries, 150 are going to be finalists. That's a really, really good chance that you have,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Absolutely.
my pro tip is also to enter the less obvious category. So not like funniest reel, best educational
Ah.
reel, best talking head reel. Do the best supporting actor in a reel. Do the
Yeah.
best. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Yep.
so and enter the unlikely categories as well because those have less entries. So you have less competition. But then we get the 150. We announce them live on August 1st on Instagram, like all the finalists on a live. It's really fun.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then we prepare for, I think the day we announce the finalists live, we also open for voting on our website. And then people have
Nice.
10 days to vote. The person with the most votes wins on the category. And then we have the award show September 30th. Oscars. It's like the Oscars, but
Love
better
it.
because our trophies are prettier.
Yep.
And on that, everybody's welcome. You don't need to. You just buy a ticket. Tickets are early bird right now to $55. You get
Amazing.
red carpet with a professional photographer that you get the photos later. You get award show with a comedian as a host. Not talking about myself. We have Davi
Your alter
Crimmins.
ego.
Davi Crimmins. She's an amazing comedian. She's been doing every year for us,
Nice.
and she's freaking amazing. Last year, she did a
Love it.
parody of the Celine Dion trend
Oh my gosh.
from TikTok live. The whole song. It was the most
I love
epic
it.
thing ever. So it's a really, really fun show. And then after that, there's an after party. There's food at the after party. There's a DJ. Like, so you get all that for $55. Like,
It's an
it's
amazing
a
price point.
steal, you
Yeah.
guys. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
please attend. If you can be in Atlanta, September 13th, we have a hotel we recommend for you that is very close by and it has a discount for us from the Reelies. It's an amazing experience. Everything is close. It's not that far from the airport. It's a
Love it.
beautiful time of the year to be in Atlanta. It's great. So, and then like I sleep for a week after that, and then we start over
As you
again.
should. As you should. I can tell how excited you are about it. Like, I think that
It's
really comes through.
amazing.
And I think to your point that we made at the beginning of the episode, like, get out in person with other creators. Like, it is so
Yes.
life affirming and
It's
it's such a
such an
good
investment
reminder.
into your business. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna give you a lot more ROI than any ads you can do on Facebook.
Yeah. Agree.
Like
Agree.
come out and meet people in person. There's research. I'm also not gonna number numbers because I didn't come prepared for that. But please do your homework, guys, on
Mhm.
the percentage of people, like how likely you are to close a client if they meet you in person.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Absolutely.
so it's
Absolutely.
such a big investment in your business, and that's not the event itself is not that expensive. It's just You're not going to like a deserted island. It's pretty easy to get to
Right.
Atlanta, biggest airport in the
Right.
world, you know.
That's
So
true. That's true.
yeah, make an investment in your business. Come join us. It's even just how well you're going to feel after, whether you participated one or not. It's worth $1,000,000.
I totally agree, and I'm gonna be going right over to the Reelies website after this and reminding my team
Good.
that we need to apply because we need to apply for our agency, but we should also apply for our
Yes.
clients because I think that there's an opportunity there too.
Absolutely. You can apply for your clients, and even on the form, you can put if it's for you or for the clients. You can get a
Great.
package of 10 and do 2 for you, 8 for clients. You can just put it there.
Cool.
And imagine the lore of like sending your clients like a trophy that you won for the reel you created for them. I don't know what, for keeping your client happy if the algorithms is not
Yes.
doing this is huge. So we had
Mhm.
a lot of people like Natasha's one of them. She won for her clients. Like a lot of people win for their clients.
Love it, love it. Well, where can everyone
Cool.
find you, follow you? Not only Reelies, but also let's plug your social
Yeah.
team. Guys, if you're not following along, Manu's such a wealth of knowledge, and you're so generous with your time and
Thank
your
you.
resources, and we appreciate you.
And I'll give you some laughs too, because if you go to our content, it's pretty fun.
Uh-huh.
You'll find me on Instagram as Your Social Team. I'm actually the person who manages that inbox. So
Mhm.
if you're coming from this podcast and you follow me on your social team, go DM me and say, hey, I found you on the podcast because I would love to say hi and know who you are, as you're coming in. And I would love that. So please come to your social team, say hello. And then the Reelies is the Reelies, Reelies on
Perfect.
Instagram and thereelies.com.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Guys, if you loved today's episode, don't forget to send it to a friend. Maybe send it to your client. Remind them about what social media, what we're doing here, Remind them about the
Yeah.
Reelies. Leave a comment. Find us on YouTube, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thanks so much for listening, and thank you for your time, Manu.
Thank you, Michelle. It's so fun to chat with you.
So good. Okay, we'll catch you later, guys. Bye.